Hello there, and welcome to Slice of Life Adventures in Anime with yours truly, host Lily Hess, joined today by Kenya Jones, anime fan. Now, I know we've never met you guys before, but this show is catered to all things Crunchyroll and Funimation. Today, we will be discussing Naruto, My Hero Academia, and Sailor Moon, from their character design to their somewhat controversial fanbase. A good anime isn't what it is without a great story, so let's jump right in. Naruto is an anime that originated, like many others, first as a shonen manga, written by Masashi Kishimoto, originally first released in 1999. It ran for 72 volumes with over 700 chapters and finished publication in 2014. The anime began release in Japan in 2002, finishing up in 2007, although the US release would be delayed a few years, releasing from 2005 to 2009. It ran for 220 episodes and was so wildly popular, it was continued with a second show, Naruto Shippuden, which would go on to release over 500 episodes. This continuation series would finish release in 2017. The actual plotline of the story is kind of depressing. It starts in the Konohagakure Hidden Village, or the Hidden Leaf Village, where the inhabitants are terrorized by the Nine Tails, a fox demon who the town's leader, the fourth Hokage, spirit traps into a baby, ultimately sacrificing himself. And this child would later grow to be a lonely young orphan boy, Naruto Uzumaki, who is regularly shunned by other members of the village simply due to fear by association. He grew with a desire for acceptance, and all he wanted was to be the greatest Hokage the village had ever seen. Now, of course, there are a million different kind of characters that in any anime or manga or plain story that can make huge differences to the plot, but it is up to us, the audience, to dissect and decide for ourselves how these characters fit into their stories as well as into ours. Now, with spoilers ahead, we begin Naruto's character segment with three main characters: Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno. All three are students at the village's ninja academy, where after their graduation, they are teamed up under their mentor and teacher, Kakashi Hatake, to further their skills in ninjahood. Naruto's character is fit to play the mischievous class clown, who is also secretly incredibly lonely due to his treatment from the village earlier in his life.
Next up, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto's ultimate rival and eventual best friend. Sasuke is a lot more isolated than this appears due to a tragedy with his clan that was assassinated by his older brother, Itachi. Sasuke's character is introduced as a skillful and intelligent young kunoichi and has a big crush on Sasuke and often tries her best to impress him. While Sakura likes Sasuke, Naruto has a huge crush on Sakura but is often dismissed.
Do you feel that everyone's character personalities accurately fits like their outfits?
Naruto, he's a boisterous, loud, funny, excited character. He wears this bright orange outfit, which is not really fit for a ninja career. Orange clothes, orange and blue.
Yeah.
He's just out there, he's loud. Then there's Sasuke, he wears these dark colors, he's isolated, this deep blue. Then Sakura, you can tell that she kind of gets what she needs to do, but she's not really taking it serious yet. She wears these bright red little dress-like. Her hair is long because she thinks it'll impress Sasuke.
I do think that, Sakura's character, there can be something to be said, she's wearing all pink and red and her hair's even pink. It's like, and she's also one of the only female mains in the entire show.
That's
so
constantly on screen.
100%. It feels like they wanted her to be so female or so girly originally, like with her character design, that she made up for the lack of female representation in the rest of the show. However, I do have to say that her personality does get more mature as the show goes on.
Because at first she was like always suppressing Sasuke when they get assigned to these teams, Team 7 under Kakashi Hatake. She's like, oh, Sasuke, I can do this. But Sasuke just ignores her, and she's constantly trying to impress him. She's very unprepared. The bell test, she only looked for Sasuke trying to impress him. She was quickly out of commission.
Their relationship dynamic is definitely... It's something. It's something.
It's not all there.
It's definitely not.
You can't really get nothing from it, but
100%.
he cares a little bit. he cares more about Naruto, but
Yeah, it wouldn't be a relationship that I would be in, I can tell you that much. I feel like his character was jaded because he was so dedicated to his purpose of getting revenge for his clan that
he didn't focus on anything else.
yeah, like he overestimated
He
himself
enjoyed
just a
life.
little
He
bit.
just focused on, oh, I gotta get revenge for my clan, trying to defeat Itachi.
Yeah.
I gotta get strong.
I do think that the color themes like orange, vibrant, Naruto, vibrant, Sasuke, gloomy, blue, gloomy, and then Sakura, she's really kind of girlish, and that's kind of reflected in her pink outerwear.
Sasuke actually leaves and she has time to develop. She's a medical nurse. One of the best after Tsunade. She apprentices under her. She works at the medical hospital. She excels at it. Expresses her emotions. Because, in the very beginning, she didn't really do it. She's all lovey-dovey, nice, intelligent. But on the inside, she was very... She had a mean streak.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was called the Inner Sakura. This had inner on the forehead. Just in the screen goes black and white, this little silhouette-ish of Sakura. It's her inner emotion. It's way more vibrant than what she exerts or has on the outside. But as you realize that as an anime go on, you don't see inner Sakura at all or very much as anime goes on, because she more freely expresses her emotions. She doesn't suppress it. She can be mean. She strikes out. She cries a lot. Well, she always cried but she cries a lot. Or
Yeah.
she states her opinion. Versus from the beginning where she kept all that to herself.
On that note, since we're talking about things like we love or that we like, we don't like, is there anything that you would change about Naruto?
I'm tell you the truth now. I'm a Sasuke hater.
Yeah. Understandable.
Number one hater.
Understandable.
Get to my nerves. You gotta treat everyone like crap like that. All these people helping you. Now let's just leave the village to the sneaky snake who clearly don't have ulterior motives with you, like collecting Sharingans
Yeah.
and all that.
Definitely something. Sasuke's character wasn't exactly my
More crimes
favorite.
against the village.
Yeah.
Every other village. It was like, what was it? It was like all these leaders of the nations. There's the village, the stand, the cloud. All these leaders get together. They were like, Sasuke is a real problem. He's actually killing people. He's attacking all these people. He's kind of a problem. No, the village. No, we'll deal with him. He's fine. We can just give us a little bit more time.
Yeah, and his punishment is like,
Slap a band-aid over it.
yeah, it's fine. We'll just sweep
After
all of
everything
that
he
under
did.
the rug.
Speaking of forgiving people, Orochimaru, because after this entirety of Naruto ends, there's the Boruto. Then all of a sudden, you can freely see Orochimaru just there with a kid and everything. Like, did he not perform illegal experiments, killed your third Hokage
Right.
during the Chunin exams? So you just gonna let him run freely? Naruto, what are you doing? I know you're a nice person and all. You easily forgetting friendship and all that. He killed the third Hokage. Is that not a war crime?
100%. Like, I understand, and I love redemption arcs. I do, but when there's a limit. There should be a limit anyway to things.
Anyway, who's your favorite character, by the way?
Who's my favorite character? I really like Naruto. He's cute. He's someone I want to take care of. I just want to coddle him. He experienced so much sadness in his childhood, okay?
But he's just so happy.
Right.
He goes out of his way to be nice, well, most of the time.
I mean, you think
He's
about
a little
it.
mischievous, but
Yeah.
he's kind.
If we're talking about pardoning people, let's talk about the entire village, okay? Let's talk about the entire village, because you do not isolate an orphan. You do not. Like, what the heck?
The kid was drinking spoiled milk.
Yeah.
You was not at all concerned. It'll be a terrible place to live. Your village always getting attacked. There's mercenaries everywhere. You can't even go outside the village without beef with another village because they hate each other.
Well, what village would you be in? Let's say you lived in let's say you were born into the Naruto universe. You're at the Ninja Academy. What village are you in?
I ain't gonna lie, I'd rather be with the Cloud Village because I like B and his brother. And I seen Chill there, the Leaf Village. I'm like, I don't want to be here.
I think, yeah, the only reason I'd probably stick to the Hidden Leaf Village is because it's the OG, because I love Naruto. But anyways, it is about time to wind down the Naruto portion of this episode, but at first we must discuss the effect the show has had on its audiences. Now obviously due to the length, the content, and the date of origin, the show was bound to be popular from right out of the gate. But it has reached to the point where fans, not even just in the Naruto fandom, but in the entire anime fandom, have recognized Naruto as one of the most popular animes ever released.
One of the most recognizable?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the 3 big anime. No matter what anybody say, I don't care. It's one of the big 3, Naruto, One Piece,
Bleach. Yeah.
You gotta give us credit. It's one of the 3 main at its height, Shonen Jump, those 3 anime were at its peak.
Yeah.
It's the most recognizable. You know the little Naruto one everyone does.
I mean, it literally ran for over 700 episodes between the original show and the continuation in Shippuden. But it's also inspired a much later spin-off in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, which follows. Boruto isn't really my thing, but it has spurred 263 episodes. 263.
It's a separate thing. I'd like to look at it from a separate thing from Naruto. Because even though they try to do it, they don't.
Yeah, the execution.
Naruto and Sasuke be main characters again in this anime when it's supposed to be about their kids.
But I mean, it is super popular. I mean, there have been at least 11 Naruto universe-related movies released, all ranging from 2004 to the latest in 2015 being about Boruto. There have also been 12 OVAs released, as well as at least 15 different video games.
Have you played video games?
I haven't, but I want to. I saw them all online and like.
Ultimate Ninja Storm.
They're kind of. Oh, do you like? I mean, you play the game? You like them? Are they good?
Yeah, pretty fun. I like the Ultimates. What did you say? The group Ultimates.
Yeah.
Especially there's one with the Akatsukis. Everybody just get together. Dude, who's here? I main Itachi whenever I can.
Oh yeah.
Or Rock Lee. Rock Lee is my favorite.
Now, we mentioned Naruto's effect on the anime and manga community as a whole, affecting millions of people, but there is another anime that has reached surprising heights despite not even being completed yet as of 2023. Boku no Hero Academia, more commonly known as My Hero or MHA, is a shonen manga and anime written by manga artist Kohei Horikoshi. The anime began release in 2016, only 2 years after the first volume was released. The anime and manga are both currently active at this time, with the manga having released 36 volumes with 375 chapters, and the anime with 130 episodes and 6 seasons as of the end of 2022. My Hero Academia is set in a world where quirks, which are like superpowers, are commonplace in the world. There are those who have smaller powers and go on with their everyday lives like normal, like us, but those with stronger powers have the ability to become superheroes or supervillains. MHA directly follows the story of teenage boy Izuku Midoriya, who, as a rarity, was actually born quirkless, so he didn't have any powers at birth, despite his longtime dream of becoming the #1 hero, like his hero, All Might. One day, Izuku gets the opportunity to gain a quirk from #1 hero All Might, but his body is woefully unprepared to take on the duty, and so he must train at the top superhero school, UA, alongside a multitude of highly talented peers and highly dangerous villains seeking to destroy superheroes, UA, and All Might at their core. Now, MHA is currently one of my favorite animes out there, because it just seems to have a sense of feeling that fits today's generation. You know, Izuku's character is ultimately displaced and set aside from everyone else from the get-go, because he was born quirkless. However, instead of wallowing in his own sorrow, he gets back up, and no matter what powers he does or doesn't have, his only purpose in life is to become a superhero, to become like his hero, All Might. And he would do anything to get it, despite, not having the advantages everyone else could have had from birth. Once he gets his power from All Might, the acquired quirk One for All, you've got this huge power in this tiny body. It's like,
It's just used to destroy. Every time you use it, oh, it's gone, broken limb, purple, bruised.
and he still never stopped. He still never stopped trying.
Still kept going, even if he got beat up a little bit, just kept getting up, breaking his limbs. Well, you don't do it anymore, but Jesus, just kept doing it.
I mean, that's where my
that's what that
ambitions
hurt.
lie. I want to have that ability to keep getting back up. I mean,
No matter how bad you're knocked down.
right, like I'm inspired by this show. I think that's probably why I like it so much. You know, it's one of those special ones where there are a multitude of main characters, most and almost all in Izuku's UA Class 1A, but two stand out in importance to the story and according to the measure of their power. While Izuku comes to become incredibly powerful with his quirk One for All, both Katsuki Bakugo and Shoto Todoroki are boys Izuku's age in his class with born and intentionally manufactured quirks.
Well,
That both-
Todoroki.
Yeah, his was intentionally manufactured, and Bakugo was just born like that.
Like a born prodigy, sort of.
Yeah, but both of their powers rival and compete with Izuku both in the show and metaphorically. I mean, it isn't just the main character whose body can either pose a great difference or similarity to their quirk. Izuku grew up bullied by Katsuki Bakugo. They grew up in the same town, went to the same school, and they weren't exactly friends.
Before any of them got their quirk, they get their quirk around 4.
Mm-hmm.
They were little friends. Bakugo, this little confident little boy with Deku following around, they're best friends. Until Bakugo got his quirk, explosion. It makes his sweat sort of like nitroglycerin, and he can set it aflame at will and emit these big explosions.
Right.
Instantly powerful, very lucky little kid. Then there's Midoriya. When he goes to the doctor to see if he gets his quirk, he finds out he's quirkless. When Bakugo finds out, immediately puts the boy down, bullies him, just terrible.
Well, I mean, Bakugo started bullying him because Izuku got back up. I mean, after Izuku found out he was quirkless, he still didn't change anything about his personality. He still didn't lie down like just for other people to bully him or anything. He still tried to be friends on the same level with Bakugo, on the same level with other people with quirks. And Bakugo didn't like that. He thought that because Izuku was quirkless, he needed to act quirkless. I mean,
The problem with Bakugo, I think he has an inferiority.
complex.
Yes. He feels beneath everyone, so he emits this little personality. He got to be the best. He got to be this little loud, mean person, puts everybody down. And if somebody else is good at something, he get mad. Like,
It's a problem with his maturity, it's a problem with his irrationality. I mean, he's had anger issues since birth. It literally shows it in the show. But despite being almost perfectly suited to the role of a villain, he is still 100% dedicated to becoming a superhero, which
even
is,
when offered, who said,
it was League of Villains anyway.
League of Villains, they said, we can do this better for you. You become a villain with us, we'll make you strong. He said, no. He said, forget this. I want to be a hero. I want to be the #1 hero. Defeat all these losers. That's what he calls everybody else. Background characters, extras.
Yeah.
Extras. So I want to be the hero, which is something I admire.
Yeah, me too.
He wants to get powerful, but he wants to do it kind of his way. He wants to be a hero, not a villain.
It's like the writers of this show in this manga are saying, you know, you can't be one thing. There are gray area characters. Bakugo's like entire character is a gray area, except for his desire to become a superhero. That's like,
The line between him being a hero and a villain is very thin. He can,
yeah, like
I'm like,
he could cross any time.
his,
It's just his choice not to. You know, a lot of people dislike him because of his extremely violent nature, but when you
gets
think
better
about
over
it,
time.
yeah, he does.
The more he interacts with the class, with Kirishima, he actually is more lenient to Kirishima than anybody else, really. Because they like brought him out of this little cage of rage. He's like, he's my favorite kid. He's my favorite kid. He's just like the nicest person.
I know him establishing those friendly bonds with someone who's so hard to be friends with is like honestly also inspiring. Why is this entire
Like
show
how
inspiring?
no one in class like is at all intimidated really by Bakugo. They're just kind of over it. It was like, oh yeah, he's just feral. They
He is
still
feral,
be around
yes.
like, hey, how you doing? They make fun of him. They be friends, even though he like to deny it.
There's a really big gap between what you expect him to be and what he is. You know, it seems really like someone would be in real life. Another character that some people say is a kind of a grayish character is Shoto Todoroki. He is the son of second-ranked hero, who later becomes the first-ranked hero, Endeavor, who is a superhero with a quirk to control and use fire. Todoroki has a tragic childhood in which he and his siblings were intentionally created by Endeavor with their reluctant mother just because he had a fire power and she had an ice power. Endeavor's intent was to create a child who could control both fire and ice.
That was his goal, to surpass All Might.
Yeah, with only the intent to be.
If he couldn't do it, he'll have his child do it, to just literally raise, groom, and what's the word for it? Train one of his kids to be more powerful and skilled than either of them. Which is kind of messed up.
It's really messed up. What do you mean?
So you can't beat him. Your pride is broken down because you can't beat him. So you know what? Hey, you're my kid. See if you have a powerful quirk. Yeah, I'm gonna raise you to do this one thing only, and that's your only use.
I'm gonna abusively raise you too.
Yeah.
Bro was an abuser.
Well, because he is like number 2 hero. I'm assuming he's super rich.
Oh yeah, he's super rich. And then he becomes the number 1 hero. He gets even richer. I mean, he's got the ability to do whatever he wants. There's likely no one who could go against him, except for All Might.
Todoroki.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up with no love or really familial bond, so he became pretty introverted and reclusive, although he also drew inspiration from All Might in his childhood to become the best superhero he could be without his father's help or
tutelage. You think when he first comes to UA that he'll actually be like, my only goal is to be All Might. But no, it's to scorn his father. I'm not going to use, when he goes to UA, he says, I don't want to use my fire side. I don't want to use my quirk, the fire quirk, because I don't want to be like my father. I don't want to do it his way. Tournament arc, it's not a tournament arc, but.
Yeah, they were going against each other. The students were fighting against each other.
Yeah, when he fought against Deku said, you're not like your father. Use your power to your full potential. Do it your way. You're not him.
Is there anything really special or specific you find about the show, or anything that you would change, or?
Well, I like how everybody used their quirk for unique purposes. Mm-hmm. Some are just powerful, like Bakugo's explosion is powerful. And Todoroki, fired ice. Deku, he got one for all. There are other people in class that have not as flashy quirks, like
Uraraka?
Yeah, her. She has this anti-gravity quirk. It just takes gravity away from any object she touches. Mm-hmm. But she's able to release gravity to any object. You think that would be something like hard to use in combat and being a hero and saving people, but she used it in a creative way. She was especially when she went against Bakugo, this very explosive person.
Yeah.
Didn't hold back, fighting against him. Full on blast her with explosions. She uses the debris that he caused, sneakily releasing gravity until last minute when she just released it and all coming down towards him like meteors. That's freaking cool.
It is. That episode was one of my favorite. I mean, that entire arc was one of my favorite to watch because I loved just seeing how they were able to use their quirks to their own advantage and how they thought that they could really formulate it to their power to beat someone else who also had a quirk. It's like, I mean, you could both have super powerful quirks, but it just really depends on who's smarter, who has the better strategy. It's definitely an anime where things are supposed to be unrealistic, but while the content of the show is very theatrical, the meaning carried to audiences throughout the characters is truly incredible. I mean, this anime has had a huge effect on the general fandom, both positive and negative. Thousands of individuals, both young and old, are inspired to cosplay these characters at conventions just because they like them so much. It is a huge rumor that MHA fans are somewhat more problematic than other fandoms.
Toxic.
Yeah, but while there have been some questionable actions performed by fans on social media, I wouldn't be surprised if this show is our generation's #1 big 3 anime. And noted previously, the anime does have 375 episodes, but related entities have also released at least 2 video games and 3 related films. The manga also has 3 spin-off mangas, and I'm more than excited to see what happens with both this show and this manga, especially since the manga is rumored to be in the final arc. Now, an anime that is more similar to Naruto than it is to MHA is Sailor Moon. It's more similar to Naruto, especially because the animes were both began their release before the 2000s. We either grew up with it or our parents did. Even more admirable because it has been popular throughout the generations. Sailor Moon is an especially special topic here because it is one of the only largely popular anime and manga series that focuses on a group of girls who prove they are more than capable of handling themselves with no need for the entire thing to be about romance. This shoujo magical girl manga series was serialized from 1991 to 1997 by female writer and illustrator Naoko Takeuchi, who is also the only female manga artist on this list, releasing 18 volumes with 52 chapters. Sailor Moon, officially titled Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, was actually also preceded by another manga from the same author that acted as the setup for everything. This manga was called Codename Sailor V, with only 3 volumes. This anime would begin release in Japan only a year after manga serialization in 1992 and would run through 1997, with the US release delayed a couple of years, although it soon became popular internationally as well. Sailor Moon follows middle school girl Usagi Tsukino as she is bestowed with the power to transform into Sailor Moon, a magical girl destined to save not only the Earth, but the entire solar system. With the help of her school friends and fellow magical sailor soldiers, a group of 5 girls who occasionally would also work with the help of male student Mamoru Chiba, known professionally as Tuxedo Mask. This team would also receive help from the outer Sailor Guardians as well. These would be the ones who would protect the other planets, called Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. How do you feel about the characters in the show?
Oh, one of my favorite animes, probably if not my favorite anime. I love these characters. Usagi, she's not what you usually have as a typical protagonist. She's not perfect. She's not always charming or going for good things. She's sometimes selfish. She is underachiever, not doing well at school. She is gluttonous.
Yeah.
She loves food. I relate to that too.
Same.
But she's very kind-hearted and cares about other people more than herself, usually.
Usually. Had to put that in there.
She's originally from a prosperous civilization on the moon, also known as the Moon Kingdom. After a tragedy, she was reborn on Earth. She was originally Princess Serenity, but now she's Usagi, a normal girl.
But yeah, I guess this is a kind of like a reincarnation kind of thing, because if she originally was the Serenity Princess, I mean, most of the main characters were all reincarnated from.
They all were.
I think they all were, even Tuxedo Mask.
Before, the way she ends up becoming Sailor Moon is that she saved this little black cat from little kids being devious little kids named Luna. Luna eventually runs off, then comes back to find her later, starts talking to her. Usagi is freaked out and says, "Hey, you're a nice person. You can be Sailor Moon. You can save the world from all these evil people." She's eventually joined by Amy, who is Sailor Mercury, Ray, who is Sailor Mars, Minako, who's Sailor Venus, and Makoto, who is Sailor Jupiter. Amy is smart. Makoto, she's a tomboy, but she loves girly things. And Minako, she's very feminine. She likes to go out and do everything. Even though she acts similar to Usagi and is a bit clumsy. They help Usagi, Sailor Moon, defeat all these bad guys. They use their special powers, but it's not always the powers they use. They are more emotional, a lot more emotional because they're women. Don't be afraid to use your emotions no matter what. Who tells you that? They're also joined by this other hero, Tuxedo Mask. This guy in the original anime, I'm sorry, it made me so mad. All he did was throw a rose.
Oh yeah, and everybody went crazy.
Okay, Petite Siddlemass ends up being Mamoru Chiba, who used to be Prince Edmian, before he was reincarnated, the secret lover of Princess Serenity. They're destined star-crossed lovers, destined to be together. But all these obstacles in our
Exactly, like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Ooh, Romeo and Juliet, okay. Man, there are some similarities that we could draw to Romeo and Juliet here.
Oh yeah, they're sacrificing each other to save one another.
Let's also talk about the difference in age.
Oh yeah. Mamoru is significantly more older and mature than Usagi.
All right, let's talk explicitly. We recently found out that Usagi was a middle school student originally in the first few series of the manga. In the first series of the manga, however, Tuxedo Mask was driving a motorcycle. You're only allowed to do so if you're over 18 in Japan. Why the heck is an 18-year-old dating a middle schooler, or at least interested in a middle schooler?
When I first met, they didn't like. He started to argue each other, but over time they started. I was like, oh, that's a little weird.
Yeah,
it's a little.
I mean, in the last season of the anime, she's in her freshman year of high school, and he's going to Harvard University. How old do you have to be to go to college? How old do you have to be?
Which I like about Sailor Moon. They're feminine, they're cute, but they can fight.
I mean, I love that about them because
they do girly things together. They're not put down because of their feminine-like qualities. They're just them, girls that can kick butt and save the day.
And that's what I love to see.
Emotional.
Tell me right now, did this show make you want to be a magical girl?
Yes.
Me too.
I want to be Sailor Moon so bad. I loved her.
Girl.
YUC, she's one of the most iconic magical girls, if not the face of magical girls.
Yeah.
It's Sailor Moon, one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known, female anime
Characters of all time, honestly, I think so.
It's like Miku.
Hatsune Miku?
Yeah, she's the face of Vocaloid, even though she's not really originally supposed to. But Sailor Moon, all magical anime.
Yeah, I mean, Sailor Moon to me.
She has to be included.
She's the face of girls in anime, period, to me. I mean, she's the face I automatically think of. Because, I mean, the Sailor Moon franchise was pretty impactful on audiences. And even though both the manga and original anime finished over 20 years ago, additions to the fandom's fangirl material continues to grow, even today. I mean, aside from the anime, there was also a live-action Sailor Moon show released from 2003 to 2004, and the franchise inspired an additional attack on 5 movies, with the latest releasing this year. It hasn't even gotten the release date yet, and it's still coming.
Yes.
I can be a magical girl if I want.
She had a love interest, but she fought for his rights.
Right.
Feminine. She didn't have to be masculine to be powerful.
And like you mentioned, he wasn't even like
She's
super
actually
prevalent.
Very powerful. She could rewrite reality if she wanted to.
Yeah, she's actually one of the most powerful characters in
Anime.
in anime ever, and people just don't realize that. They think because she's a girl, she's maybe not as powerful, but she's
girl anime.
Yeah, like you can be cute and you can be strong. Although Naruto, My Hero, and Sailor Moon all have very stark and noticeable differences to one another, their greatest similarity lies in being able to inspire positive emotion in the hearts of their audiences. With over 200 million viewers each, it is safe to say the impact has been nothing but substantial, with only more to come. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from me, your host, Lily Hess, and Kenya Jones, thank you so much for joining us today on Slice of Life Adventure in Anime's first episode. We look forward to having you back next time when we discuss Hunter x Hunter and Bleach. Have a nice week, and most of all, as they say in MHA, go beyond plus ultra.